Hey, good morning everybody. Now this video is being made just to illustrate to you that this is going to be my new method in reference to how I'm going to be hiding these two sleeping bags. What this is this is a big, gigantic fishing tackle bag that I bought. It's actually a $40 bag. I got it for $20 because it was put on the wrong shelf. Ordinarily, I wouldn't do something like that, but considering the gang stalking harassment that I have endured at two separate Walmarts, I said, what the hell? Anyway, so I got it for 20 bucks. The point being is that what I'm doing now, let me just turn the video camera on for a second. How you doing? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm learning disabled, but it doesn't mean that I'm retarded. In fact, you know, all my videos are titled Learning Disabled Woman. I'm not, what the learning disabled means is that I have a different learning style, but I'm not retarded or slow or anything like that. Trust me, I got a bachelor's equivalent in drafting and very close to another degree. Moving forward. Now, this is my new tent. Okay, the reason why I'm homeless is because I'm a gang stalking victim. Now you can go to Google and type in how gang stalking creates homelessness of targets. But that's not what this video, well, it's part of what this video is about, because me making this kit up here is because I'm being gang stalked to my hiking areas and along all my routes. Now, so what I'm doing, and they're using the homelessness to arrest me. For eventual syndicated probate control by trying to claim that I'm crazy because I'm claiming I'm being stalked by people that I don't know, even though I am. Gang stalking's all over the friggin' internet. It's happening. This crime is literally happening anywhere between at least 2.5 and 4 million people in the United States alone. At least. It's been covered on the local news broadcasts, national radio shows multiple times, and on Jesse Ventura even did a show called Brain Invaders, which basically covers a subcrime that can be happening to organized stalking, gang stalking targets. Now, as a result of the created homelessness, being gang stalked along all my routes, harassed every day in the same exact identical verbal way every day. Okay, and subjected also to different types of sensitization methods, and I'm not the only gang stalking target in San Diego County. You can go to YouTube and type in Bonnie, Oceanside, California gang stalking. They're subjecting her to the color red. It's called color harassment, because every time she's presented with individuals that are driving by, walking by with red on, carrying red or whatever, it's intentionally done. So you got to extensively research not only gang stalking but also sensitization methods, the direct conversation tactic, color harassment, vehicle harassment. And when you see the amount of Google generated responses you get to each one of these descriptions, you'll see that Bonnie's telling you the truth. She is. I've looked at her videos. I already know for a fact she's telling the truth. Let's see, Beth Donahue, Brian 2. I think he might have moved out of San Diego just recently. I'm not sure though. He could be back for all I know. So we got Beth Donahue, Victoria Rose, Maraj Shahan, Sylvie L. Morales, me, Leslie Williams, and so these are just a few of the names of the so far identified San Diego County targets of gang stalking. So you can go to YouTube and also type in gang stalking bullying on steroids to see that it was covered on the news and back in 2011 pertaining to a target in Santa Cruz County, which is right next door to San Diego County. California is actually one of the main states, okay, that is involved in gang stalking. It's organized crime in the system at every level. Now, so basically what I'm doing is surviving the homelessness they created. And since this video is basically going to be just about why I'm doing this and what's in this bag, and then showing you the tent. This tent normally is taken down by this time. It's a little bit after 8 a.m. That way, when I wake up, see what I'm doing right now is building this. So when I wake up, I can hurry up. Let me just first explain to you what's in it, and I'll continue to talk to you about why all this is, why I'm making this video. Okay. inside, so I don't have to unfold it to show you what's in here. I'm just going to tell you what's in here. Now, there's a pillow at the bottom. That pillow in emergency situations, which means that if I ever have to grab this bag and leave the area, like if they bring, because when I leave for the day, okay, after the tent's taken down and this is packed up and then hidden and camouflaged, and then when I leave for the day, no matter where I'm going, like university or library, store, whatever, and then come back here, there's a great probability that they're either going to prop up homeless men to camp out close by me to harass me, to psychologically motivate me to move so I won't get assaulted or so my property won't get stolen. Because just all you gotta do is look at it this way. If they'll gang stalk you to apartment buildings, motel rooms, and all along your routes, do you honestly think they're not going to gang stalk you to your hiking area? And the hiking area I just moved from, okay, in November 14th is when I left that area. Excuse me. I was gang stalked at that area day and night from November 2012 up until literally the day I moved. But the main perpetrators who were harassing me at that area, that the persons or group who's hosting this propped them up to camp out 100 feet away from me, who harassed me day and night from November 2012 up until April of 2014. And then when they moved out, they only moved on the other side of me about 200 feet away. All right, so they've been using homeless men towards me ever since 2011. All right, so, and I'm not just talking about at my hiking area either, along my routes as well. So what I'm doing in order to be able to tighten the noose of the time availability, see, because gang stalking expeditions, what they do, hold on. What they do is attempt to use normal appearing excuses or normal appearing mishaps or normal appearing, like if they bring a homeless person up in here and have them, see, because if they move in close by, they can obviously hear me because I can hear them. Their whole goal is to make sure that I do hear them. That's done to psychologically motivate me to move out of fear that I'll be assaulted, robbed, even raped, or my property that is left behind during the day to be stolen. Okay, because I'm not going to carry my sleeping bags and my change of clothes and everything with me, which means that it's got to be hidden close by out of sight. The point being, though, is that when I leave for the day, this tent is gone. It's taken down and well, let me just put it to you this way, it's secured. Okay, now they can easily, when I'm gone for the day, and believe me, cell phone tracking using GPS coordinates is one of the methodologies of concerning how they know where a target's at, whether they're stationary and or mobile. So they know when I'm gone for the day. As a result, they can bring homeless men to camp out anywhere close by me, anywhere, including even picking this spot. If I come home on any date and there's kids, teenagers down up in here, anybody of any employment description, any age, any any excuse pertaining to why they're in the area, like a neighbor or a landscape worker or RP personnel or volunteers for RP, and I know you don't understand that, I had to code it for security reasons, homeless men and or women, if they bring them down and they're literally right up in this spot and it's getting close to dark, I got to be able to grab a bag, okay, since the tent's already secure somewhere else, I got to be able to grab a bag that's got my sleeping bags and stuff in it so I can go somewhere else and prop this tent up real fast so I can sleep at night. This is literally how I have to live. Now, I have been gang stalked not only along my routes by homeless men and other individuals, definitely, no, make no mistake about it, but the homeless men are the ones that they're really using towards me. Now, just to give you a sidebar notation so you can clearly see that I'm indisputably being gang stalked, you can go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalking." Oh, no, wait, hold it. "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Flat Out Evidence of Gang Stalking." Next search, "Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalking Caught." Just flip those words around a little bit and you'll find them. "Learning Disabled Woman makes HA predictions or hiking area predictions." Just trust me, I'm all over the internet. All over the internet. I got hundreds of videos all over the internet. I got several YouTube accounts with hundreds of videos in each account. And you can also go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? Then go to Google and type in gang stalking in libraries. Now, they have hacked into that blog and are copying and pasting information in it that I would not post and I got so tired of erasing it and then them repasting it back in, I just left it in there. But understand, there's at least 70 videos in there of indisputable evidence of me experiencing the same exact identical verbal harassment around me, the same exact identical to a T. Okay, harassment happening around me everywhere I go. The only way that can be achieved is that they gotta know where I'm at in real time. Now, if I leave here with my phone and I walk, say, to Rouse, and I predict in a tape recorder on my way to Rouse, let's see if anybody says gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird, gang stalker, suck my you know what, gang stalk, suck my you know what, and it's caught on my tape recorder. It'll show that I was gang stalked from here to there and that I'm experiencing this crime because I predicted it in my tape recorder and even sometimes in video files before I leave for the day to go to these places. The tape recorder automatically reflects the time duration, the time elapse, that went by from the point when the prediction was made, because I will also make predictions in the tape recorder on my way to Rouse about what could happen at Rouse or UCSD or any library or any business I go into. Okay, so the tape recorder runs by date and time. So let's say if I make a verbal prediction at 10 o'clock on my way, let's just say to Rouse, off of La Jolla Village Square, where I'm being gang stalked like you would not believe, I'll make a prediction in my tape recorder, at least my tape recorder, sometimes in video files. I'll say, let's see if gang stalk is said even just once. At Rouse, on my way to Rouse, the whole time duration while I'm at Rouse, and then on my way back to wherever I'm going from there. Then as I continue to walk to the bus stop or ride my bike to the bus stop and then wait for the bus, the environmental noise changes in the background can clearly be distinguished because I'm not on a bus. A bus, the engine of a bus, the bus bell, people talking, me talking to the bus driver, me tapping my bus card, which makes an electronic sound. That environmental noise is distinguishable from the background noise of when I'm just walking up a street. Me getting off the bus. Okay, the bus driver calling off bus stops. You can clearly hear that I had not arrived at Rouse yet. Now, time is elapsing between the time I made the audio prediction and sometimes video predictions. And video predictions, the memory cards do hold the time and date stamp on the video file. So then I get to Rouse and it's constantly and repetitively said, or just said maybe 5 or 6 times, the tape recorder picks it up. When it picks it up, it's picking it up at a time that is later from the time I predicted it would be heard in a completely separate environment. It'll show that I was stalked to there. And it's not just Rouse employees and management saying it. Okay? Absolutely. It's people coming in acting as customers, which means they're told I'm there by the individuals who are hosting this. Same thing concerning what I experienced it over at UCSD. The biomedical library staff at UCSD, Club Med restaurant employees, Sunshine Market employees, which is a store inside of the Price Center at UCSD. Club Med is a restaurant at UCSD, right up the walking pathway from the biomedical library. Every single one of them employees. Every single time I went in these just aforementioned described places, engaged in non-stop gang stalking of me, including students and especially in the biomedical library, they brought homeless men in there to gang stalk me and harass me. Then they finally used the punk to create an incident and then use that incident to give me a warning letter about my behavior, even though that friggin' punk threatened to kick my ass in July. And they would make a police report concerning it. Now, alright, so the point being is that after I get done making this video, what I'm going to do is finish putting in here. What's in here is 2 sleeping bags, a winter coat, a pillow, and the pillow can be taken out at any time if I have to take it out in order to make more room for other things. Now, what's in here is a coat, a pillow, some shirts in order to be able to give the pillow some height for my neck to rest on. 2 sleeping bags, a coat, a pillow, some shirts. What else? What else do I got in here? Just basically what I need in order to be able to carry it on my bike. Also, this is going to be hidden completely away from the area where the tent's at. It's going to be hidden in a place where if they bring up anybody to camp out here to psychologically motivate me to move on. See, because what you got to understand here, an assault, a robbery, harassment, threats that the cops are going to be called or whatever, is there a way to psychologically motivate me to move to a camping area where I can either and or be easily caught through normal apparent excuses and reasons, staged events by them, and or trying to psychologically motivate me to move to another area so I won't get caught that's further away from neighbors who can hear me scream. Do you understand? Now, fellow American citizens, when I hide this every morning after the tent's taken down, in fact, this will probably be hidden before the tent's taken down. It all depends on what might be going on around me during the day when I wake up and, hear what's going on around me. This is going to be hidden in a spot on this property that's away from the tent, that's at a spot that they could not, they being anybody they're using, would not be able to come up in here and pitch a tent because of the landscape, like trees, branches, bushes, okay, things that can't be uprooted. If this is hidden right in the midst of those and then camouflaged, they wouldn't be able to come up here and say, okay, this is where we'll pitch our tent because we know her property's here. And they know, look, when you have a phone, okay, like when you have your Star GPS service on your van or truck or car, that Star, I don't know what it's called, GPS service in your vehicle. And say if you're going to a dentist you've never been to before, okay? Well, what you do is that you type in the dentist's address to the location you're at, and then you see all the different roads that you got to go to. And even when you're moving, the Star technology will show how closer you've gotten to it in reference to the distance of miles, because the GPS tracking of the Star equipment that's in the vehicle is vectoring using GPS coordinates, which means that if you're at your home and the dentist office is 15 miles away and you went 3 miles, the Star system will show, okay, that you're 17 miles away from the dentist. And then as you go 2 more miles, you're 15 miles away. That's the point I'm trying to make. Through GPS tracking and me having a cell phone, they can see that I'm stationary at the spot, exactly where it's at. And then if I walk to, even if it's just say 100 feet from here and hide this, they can see where I hit it, literally. Now, if you don't, put it to you this way, go to Google and type in synchronized harassment and gang stalking, and then Google this, crafted seating arrangements and gang stalking. That's all over the internet. They do that at stores, restaurants, movie theaters, libraries. They'll even get in line behind you and or in front of you when when they're monitoring your behavior in the store to see if you're headed for the checkout. Any store, any business. So if they'll do all that, do you honestly think, even through observation from a distance, okay? I've read targeted individuals' blogs where they've come home and have found hidden cameras behind the mirrors of their bathroom. One woman found a tape recorder that was taped to the panel, the inside of her panel, the panel being on her closet door. Another woman found a camera in the keyhole of her apartment. Okay, so if you don't think that they're not, like when I leave here, they can easily come up in here and set up any kind of hidden surveillance to see what I'm doing. And if you don't think that gang stalking expedition perpetrators do this, just Google it. So they can see where I'm hiding this. Okay, and then wait till I leave, bring up the homeless skinks that they decided to use for the day, who are easily bought off, they're easily relocated, and the police can easily say, well, how are we supposed to find them, Leslie? Even if I take a video picture of them, like if I come home and find them, and I take a video picture of them, and then I leave or they leave, like if they steal something, they might even try to psychologically motivate me to call the police by assaulting me. If you don't think the police don't know why they're called, think again. Go to Google and type in gang stalking and police. So the point being is that if I leave for the day, once this tent's taken down and this is hidden, and then come home and they have propped them up to be close by, or even at the spot where I put my tent up at, all I have to do then is go and get this. So this is going to be hidden at a spot that they can't put their tent up at. That way, I'll have the physical freedom from being physically distanced more than arm's length from them in order to grab it to leave. Because what they'll want to do, at least pertaining to why they would do this, is to psychologically motivate me to move. Because concerning the property I'm on, there's so many different places that I can go to and stealth camp and live in some type of measure of peace while there's neighbors close enough by to hear. Let me just show it to you really fast. If it's right here. See this right here? This is a sports barn. They attacked me at my last hiking area. Okay, the one that was off Gilman Road. Okay, I also got a whistle, some maize, And if it gets really bad, I guess I'd have to defend myself with a stick or a pocket knife. But the point, and they'll provoke you to do it, stage a witness, blame me for the event, and then somebody will call the police, either me or them, depending on how bad the event is, and then they'll lie to the police, and the police is ready to hear the story because the police are involved in gang stalking. Stage events and gang stalking are called street theaters, and when they stage events, they will stage the witnesses. And whenever they stage the event, an event, a syndicated cop is waiting to answer the 911 call, no matter who calls them. The staged witness, the people they use for the event, or if the event's bad enough, they just believe that the target will call the police. That way they can say, well, what are you doing here, Leslie? You're not supposed to be hiking. You're not supposed to be camping. Are you on probation for it? You're arrested, Leslie. So they get away with assaulting me. I get blamed for the event when it was actually not my fault at all. These are the little schemes of gang stalking. Okay, so in closing, also go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Criminal Motivations of Gang Stalking. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Methods and Tactics of Gang Stalking. Every time I say Learning Disabled Woman, that means that that's a new description for each YouTube title. So, and then you'll understand why this is happening to me. Illegal syndicated probate control for insurance fraud, applying for federal and state funds in my name, and human trafficking in a syndicated run organized crime group home they place you in by claiming you can't take care of yourself, claiming that you're a threat to yourself or others, claiming that you're mentally ill. They'll do anything and everything. Okay? Hold on. So, if I come home on any date and this spot is taken over, and or if they have propped up homeless men or boys or any girls or women or anybody, okay, to camp out around me from any direction, especially over there and over here. But that does not mean that they will not try and do it over there or behind me anywhere. Okay? And the only vulnerable spot to this area is right over there. Okay. Now, in organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, when they stage an event against the target, these perpetrators know that I wear a tape recorder, because the evidence that's online is evidence that was caught on the tape recorder. In order to put it on a video, to put it online, I literally had to show the tape recorder on the video file. Plus, it's been pulled out in front of multiple San Diego police officers, UCSD police. They know I'm wearing a tape recorder. So when they stage an event, they're told how to act verbally. But what are they doing to my face as they're in my presence? Engaging in what is known as gang stalking physical gestures, sensitization methods. Go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalkers Admitting Sent to Harass Read Comments. Caught 3 teenagers. I've caught 6 people so far. 3 separate UCSD students within a 3-day time period. 3 teenagers and 1 individual admitting that a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve put him on a corner to do it. So you can look at that audio file by going to YouTube and typing in 2/ the / key, 2/20/13, Learning Disabled Woman Catches Another Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass. Now you got to listen to that video all the way up to the last second, because towards the very tail end of it, the last, I think, 10 or 15 seconds, you hear me say to this man, don't put your hands to your face no more. And that's what I meant when you hear me say to him, you guys are all the same, because I'm subject to the same physical, putting hands to face, hands to mouth, hands to nose, intentionally, sensitization methods. I'm subject to that along my routes every day, and the repeated identical words and phrases, identical to a T. And these words and phrases that are being repeated are not normal everyday words that people use. Gang stalk, oh my God. Gang stalk, weird. Gang stalk, crazy. Oh my God. Gang stalk, oh my God. Gang stalk, oh my God. Oh my, stalk, gang, God. Do you understand? And they do it in that way. They're just using different community members to do it. Dupe citizens. So to give you a preliminary introduction pertaining to how easy it is to get community members to do things towards a target, go to YouTube and type in listen to a stranger. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm predicting something happening at this area in the next 60 days. This area goes by an abbreviated code, Colony 5 R-1R. And that description can be flipped around a little bit. once that description, if it's when I did what I just verbalized, if that code is not in its pertaining to how I verbalized it, it's not necessarily in its sequential order in reference to how it directly applies to this geographical location. But once I flip the abbreviations around into their proper sequential place, it accurately and descriptively describes the geographical location of the property, because it's directly connected to what? Now, after the event transpires here and I gotta move or get arrested or whatever, you better believe I'll expose where that area is, and then you'll indisputably see that I predicted these events to happen here. Do you understand? These are the strategies I developed in order to be able... Now, in closing, when I wake up in the morning, you see, because I just moved here, so all this stuff right here is only here because I'm going through it in order to be able to coordinate my stuff, find designated spots pertaining to their priorities, okay? Like things that aren't needed every day or even once a week or even once every 2 weeks are put away in areas to where, in other words, they're set in designated areas by priority, okay? And what I'm doing is after I get all this set up and everything marked, okay, what I would then do is then be able to get up in the morning, and the only thing I'll have to do is get outside the tent, okay? Oh, I gotta interject something here. Do you see this pair of long johns right here? Okay, what I've done is bought 6 pairs of these. I got 3 pairs of this. Hold on. Okay, now on me right now I got a pair of snow pants. Okay, underneath it I got a pair of sweatpants, and then underneath that I got 2 pairs of tight long johns, and then 2 other pairs of loose ones. And then once I cut the legs off these, that'll be a 3rd one. Plus, I also got 2 pairs of leg cutoffs from pants on me. And the reason why I did that is because once these are taken off me and they're neatly folded, they take up not even half of the amount of space that one sleeping bag would take. And they keep me just as warm, if not warmer. So the whole goal for me was to be able to condense as much as I could in a bag, so where I only have to carry 1 bag if I ever have to move from any spot to another spot. Now, understand this as well. They're targeting my bike, which they know I'm using to carry property. They flattened the tires 5 days after I bought it. Last night, I brought it up in here for the first time. It's originally locked at a separate location. Okay? Now, we're gonna see, and it's a brand new bike. It's not even 2 weeks old. Okay? Now, so we're gonna see if on any date and a situation arises, we're gonna see if that bike is either already stolen, like stolen that day or the night before, okay, or if they flatten a tire. Like I could be at a Ross grocery store buying juice and water, whatever, and then because the bike's got a basket on it. So what I do is I use the bike to carry groceries, to carry my everyday carry-all, and then it can also be used to carry this from one hiking area to another. Now they know that when I have to move, because they're literally creating the circumstance that causes me to move, the staged event, they know that I'm going to have to carry sleeping bags with me to another area in order to stay warm, and that's easy deduction. Now, and they know where I'm at right now, make no mistake about it, because remember how I talked about the GPS coordinates? So if on any date, any situation arises and I gotta move, okay, whether it's an in-my-face situation that causes me to move, or me coming home and finding people down up in here, and then I have to go grab my bag to move, there could already be something wrong with the bike as a result of something happening to it pertaining to where I had just left from, like Ralph's or Radio Shack or the post office or Social Security downtown or the library, whatever. The point being is that if they flatten the tire, I come home with an hour and a half before it gets dark, notice people up in here, that should give me enough time to grab this and walk immediately to another spot. If they flatten the tire, it'll totally fuck me up. Well, it won't totally fuck me up, but excuse my language, but it will make it a lot more difficult. Gang stalking wants you to go under extreme mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial duress, because they use it to break you down, to wear you down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So follow all the instructions that I described in this video, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. So actually, you know what? This video applies for the next 6 months, no matter what hiking area I'm at. Now, once I get situated here, there's going to be, what I'm going to do is because like right now, the ground you can see is cleared.
When I take this tent down, once everything gets situated, when I leave the area, I'm even going to replace the leaves back onto the spot by having leaves in a very cheap bag that doesn't make a lot of noise. And so what I'll do every night when I come home, when I go to move the leaves away to put the tent down, in fact, I might even just start placing the tent on top of the leaves. But on nights that I don't, what I'll do is put the leaves in a bag. After I take the tent down, bag it up, put it where it's, after I secure it, then what I'll do is re-put the bags on the spot. That way, if the cops ever come up in here, okay, they can say, are you camping here? I can say, well, do you see a tent or anything? If they say, where are you camping here? I'm just going to basically say, I have nothing to say. Okay, so what they're going to do, if they stage an event, they're going to do it while the tent's up and or if I'm in it. Or when I'm putting it up, while I'm in it, or while I'm standing outside of it while it's erect, and or when I'm taking it down. What I'm doing is doing this to tighten the noose, because the property that I'm hiking on, there should be no one in the area after dark, and there should be no one in the area using normal appearing excuses by 7 o'clock. And make no mistake about it, go to Google and type in gang stalking the neighbors. In fact, if you look at that YouTube video, gang stalking bullying on steroids, you'll literally see the neighbors involved in the gang stalking of that guy, because it literally shows it. So what I did was, by buying this very small tent, it's 8 feet long, 2 feet 8 inches high, and 2.4 inches in width. And you can see I got black weatherization sheets on it. Now this tent isn't put up until the last minute, pertaining to as it's approaching it to get dark. When I put this tent up, I then get this bag out, put everything in it that's needed, and it's even bagged in ways to where, okay, what's got to go in the tent first, then what's got to go next, then what's got to go next, so it all can be kind of built upon. So once the last thing's taken out, the tent inside of it is set up. That's literally how I'm going to literally pack the bag. After that's done, what I then do is right before it gets dark out, like literally five minutes before it's dark, I put 3 black industrial-sized garbage bags and I hang them up right here. That way, when I open up the corner of the tent, and all I do is open it up about this far, to have a cigarette, and leaves are already all pushed away so nothing catches on fire. I usually have a can right here. So when I have my headlamp on, nobody will be able to see the light from any direction. The rest of the area over there is completely dense of fallen trees, dead bushes, and nobody can see the light that's inside the tent because the entire tent is covered with this black stuff. It's black weatherization sheets I bought at Walmart. So what I'm doing is tighten the nooses of all normal appearing excuses that the police would have to know I'm camping. So when they bring about an event, because what they're going to want to do is arrest me to put me in jail. Okay, because the more documentation they get about my living situation over a long period of time about concerning how long I've been homeless is part of the methodologies that is used to get the syndicated probate control. Miss Williams has been homeless for a long time. She's not trying to get out of it, even though she's got a steady income, even though they're targeting that right now. Social Security Disability Review. I've been gang stalking the same exact identical verbal way inside of Social Security every time I've been there. Okay, the point being is that in order to get the syndicated probate control, they either provoke you to act out physically so you can be arrested, and that way they can say you're a threat to yourself or others, that you're mentally ill because you think you're being stalked by people you don't know, even though you are being gang stalked, and that you can't take care of yourself because you're homeless. It's why they create the homelessness. It's why they stage provocations along your routes and in hiking areas, and it's the reason why that they're doing 2 things in reference to why they're using homeless men to camp out by me. 3 actually. 1 is to psychologically motivate me to move in order to protect the property that's hidden. 2, in order to protect myself. That's why they brought men down up to physically attack me at my last hiking area. And 3, to wear me out and wear me down as a result of the constant moving. And actually 4, because if you're constantly caught up in the busyness of moving in order to survive, you're not physically available to look up lawyers, go to law firms, and go to activist groups that you can show the evidence you got to. Hundreds of audio files of the same exact identical verbal harassment happen around me every day. Absolutely. So what? And they can see when I'm looking up lawyers online, cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. Alright, so this is a prediction. It applies for the next 6 months no matter what hiking area I'm at. No matter what hiking area I'm at. Period. If I'm arrested, assaulted, robbed, even raped, it'll be directly connected to gang stalking. I don't give a flying shit how they act verbally. Because remember, cyber surveillance being a method of gang stalking, they know I got a tape recorder. So when they prop these assholes up to approach me, okay, they'll they'll act a certain way verbally, but what they're doing with their hands, engaging in gang stalking physical gestures, is designed to let you mentally know that this event is actually intentionally occurring because of gang stalking sensitization methods. And they might even not do the physical gesture. That's right. They can just bring men up in here and have them act like they're just camping. They'll even intentionally, purposely act nice for the sake of my audio file. That way they can say Miss Williams has got irrational behavior towards somebody who's just down up in here looking for a place to live like her. If that's what she's doing, is what they'll say. Do you understand? Because you got to remember, one of the excuses they take to get the syndicated probate control is claiming that you're delusional, mentally ill, crazy because you think you're being stalked, and violent. So because what you got to understand here is that they create this fear by using homeless men constantly. When they begin to use homeless men against you, that's creating the fear. They then reinforce the fear through the repetition. And this is done to keep you in a intentional, hyper-vigilant, hyper-mindset about certain types of people they're using. And if you don't believe homeless men are not involved in gang stalking and homeless women, just Google it. And look at how many Google numeric responses come up, and look at the blogs and videos that come up. Absolutely. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth. So just cross-reference all the information I've stated in this video, and you'll see that I'm telling you the truth concerning the staged events. And when they stage events, they'll stage witnesses too to be in the area and have them call the police. Absolutely. You would not believe what I know. You just would not believe it. This is organized crime in the system that's perpetrating these criminal realities. And just to let you know, gang stalking is also directly connected to homeless shelters, churches, charities, self-help groups. Where would they get the homeless men they're using at? Jails, probation, parole, and homeless shelters. Do you understand? Probation officers, parole officers, police officers, sheriff's department personnel, members that are connected to homeless shelters that work for them. And if you don't think that certain police departments aren't connected to homeless shelters, think again. I know they are here in San Diego. San Diego Homeless Rescue Mission has been involved in the gang stalking of me all the way. Oh my God, you would not believe what I know about them. And you know what their little whore asses will do if they ever use this video in court, or I ever present it in court? They'll say, a respectable community service that is given to so many people in our community, Leslie is accusing of being connected to gang stalking. Do you see how crazy Leslie is? Go to YouTube right now and type in homeless shelters and gang stalking. I'm sorry, go to Google, type in homeless shelters and gang stalking. Then go to YouTube and type in similarities between gang stalking and human trafficking. Do you really honestly think that a supposedly reputable homeless shelter, okay, and who sponsors them? Their sponsored parties. Want it to be known that their employees are involved in gang stalking being directly connected to human trafficking? Are you serious? Alright, I gotta go. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.